Welcome back to Bio News Network. We're working on our latest report. We've been keenly tracking this Category 1 Hurricane Elsa as it makes its way through the Caribbean Sea. We're approaching 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, and we had the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. So we thought it was very important for us to try and get this very important information to our subscribers, especially those who may be residing in the area of Haiti, Dominican Republic, as well as Jamaica, as well as even Cuba, and within the zone of the cone of concern, which is South Florida. We do anticipate that this will actually intensify throughout the early morning. Many of these types of hurricanes tend to have some type of slight intensification prior to making their next landfall. And we see some really powerful telltale signs of possible intensification. We are seeing that the gusts are up to 97 miles per hour at this time, but maximum sustained winds are 80 miles per hour. But there are powerful gusts that have been seen within the structure of the storm. If you're new to this channel, please by all means go ahead and like and share and subscribe to our channel. We bring multiple updates, especially with severe weather, in this case Hurricane Elsa, which is actually believed to be the first Atlantic hurricane since 1933 to actually form so far east. So this is actually making history as we go along. It's important to note that if you recall, only a few hours ago, it actually crossed through the area of St. Lucia, St. Vincent, as well as the region near Dominica. And based on preliminary reports, there are many families that are still trapped in their homes as a result of the storm impacting Barbados. In St. Lucia, it is possible there's a high percentage of customers who are without electricity. It was estimated that up to 90% of the residents were without electricity in St. Lucia at the height of the storm. And we're also witnessing possible collapsed houses as well as mudslides, power outage, and water outages in Barbados in these early morning hours of Saturday. And we're just seeing some significant imagery on our radar. We do see early thunderstorms that are actually scattered across Puerto Rico as the system makes its way west-northwest towards the Hispaniola landmass. And we anticipate that it's going to be impacting the southwest coast of Haiti, as well as the southern coast of the Dominican Republic. And we also anticipate that what will actually happen also is that it will skirt up along the southeast coast of Cuba. The provinces in Cuba that should be on alert at this time are Granma, Guantanamo, also Las Tunas and Santiago de Cuba. These are provinces in the region that should be on guard at this time. Of course, all of the entire island of Jamaica is on alert at this time, and we've actually seen the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica actually issue an alert for its government personnel to seek shelter, and we saw that online just recently. So this is actually very important, not only for government personnel in Jamaica, but residents as a whole in Jamaica should be preparing for a very powerful storm to actually impact the island very shortly, as well as the residents and citizens of Haiti. It's unfortunate actually that this is actually a second major reason why residents in Haiti will actually be seeking refuge. Not only are they seeking refuge from this powerful hurricane, but also the significant violence that has been plaguing the nation. So our hearts and prayers, our prayers and our thoughts are going out to the Haitian people, especially at this particular time. This is a very trying time as this powerful hurricane actually impacts the the island nation of Haiti at this time, and we anticipate it's going to have a major impact on the island of Jamaica, as well as the southern section, or in fact a major area of the Dominican Republic, will experience not only hurricane force winds but also tropical force winds, because you can actually see that the entire coast is actually on point, for on guard and on an alert for possible intensification of the winds, as well as heavy rains will be felt throughout that entire region. As we go into these early morning hours, this is a time to actually prepare. As far as water rations, keep in mind, for residents of Haiti as well as Jamaica, there is a strong likelihood that there will be significant power outage. There's a strong likelihood, based on what we just saw in Barbados and St. Lucia, that there'll be significant water outages also. Due to the heavy rainfall, many of these islands are prone to heavy flash flooding as well as significant mudslide events. So we are hoping that we're just hoping for the best, as far as both of these islands being a little bit lucky with regards to less severe effects from Hurricane Elsa. But it's important to prepare at this time to seek shelter as needed. But this system is actually very, very powerful. It should not be taken lightly. It should not be underestimated. Just by the imagery and the video from social media for Barbados and St. Vincent, and do keep in mind it doubled in strength while it was passing through the southern Windward Islands. Definitely, this system needs to be. This system is extremely powerful moving forward. You should know at this time that it's moving at about 29 miles per hour, and 80 miles per hour as far as maximum sustained winds, but gusts are up to 97 miles per hour based on the latest 2 a.m. AST update from the National Hurricane Center. We do anticipate also, as far as the exact position is concerned, it's 15.5 north, 67.8 west, and that puts it about 330 nautical miles southeast of the coast of the Dominican Republic. One thing that we noticed when we were looking at just the basic organization of this storm, when it was impacting the Windward Islands, was that we saw that most of the most significant, as far as sea heights are concerned, and peak seas were actually in the northeast quadrant of the storm, which is typical of many of these hurricanes. A lot of people may think that it's actually the initial wall, which is a northwest corner, but in fact, we're seeing sea heights, a maximum sea heights of 24 feet for this system already, with 12 feet or 12 feet or higher, as far as 210 nautical miles from the center for the northeast quadrant of the storm, which basically means that based on the sea heights are concerned, we're seeing more elevated sea heights in the region of the northeast quadrant, as well as the southeast quadrant also. So we're seeing it on that northeast quadrant, as well as the southeast quadrant, which is the right side, basically the top and the lower part of the storm on the top right side of the storm. Those two quadrants are where we see the maximum sea heights, and we're also seeing, as far as intensification of the winds also in those quadrants also. So it's as this system actually makes its way closer towards the island of Hispaniola as well as Jamaica, we're going to be keeping an eye on where those sea heights are elevated, as far as where the intensification of the winds, possibly also where the more severe thunderstorms are located, if those are actually going to be in the northeast quadrant as well as the southeast quadrant of the storm, as it makes its way across the Caribbean Sea. But this time we just wanted to make sure that we got another update out to our subscribers. We're going to continue to monitor this hurricane until it starts to really impact all the way into Florida. We are hoping for a best case scenario, which is less intensification as it approaches Haiti and Jamaica, as Cuba, and also that it will probably veer more into the Gulf of Mexico, lose strength before it actually impacts any further landmass such as the Florida Panhandle. But unfortunately, based on what we've been seeing from different reports and different models, the cone has actually been shifting a little bit more and more, just slightly to the right when it exits the landmass of Cuba. So we're very, very much concerned about that. And based on the current track, it's not going to be over Cuba very long, which will mean that it's not going to cause any kind of major disintegration as far as the system is concerned. So we're very, very concerned about the possibility that it will make a more severe damage with less contact to actual landmass, which will weaken it before it actually makes impact on the continental United States, somewhere possibly on the southwest coast of Florida, along the area of Naples, Fort Myers, Tampa, and Sarasota, which very much reminds me of the path that was taken by the storm as far as going over Cujo Key into the southwest area with Hurricane Irma just a few years ago. So definitely we were monitoring this situation. It has severe gravity. At this particular juncture, we are definitely looking at severe conditions for the residents in Haiti as well as Jamaica. And we're also looking exactly as far as the pressure is concerned. And of course, we're breaking the storm down based on quadrants to actually see which parts of the storm have the highest sea heights as well as the sea peaks, because that will actually play a role as far as storm surge is concerned and the impact on the coastlines as the system makes its way through that area between Jamaica and Haiti, and the impact on the coast, and also which landmass may be more inclined to receive more heavy rainfall, which will mean an increased likelihood of flooding, increased likelihood of mudslides, which may lead to injuries and death. So we're just trying to break down the storm, monitor its organization, and actually track and see to what extent it's actually intensifying before it actually makes landfall. But initially, right at this particular time, we're actually seeing increased showers all across Puerto Rico, and the squalls are extending all the way up to Puerto Rico and almost as far down as the coast of South America. So this is a very, very large storm, and we anticipate that it's going to intensify even further as it makes its way further closer and closer to the island of Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Jamaica. So we definitely want to keep our thoughts and our prayers for residents that are going to be impacted by the storm. We're strictly speaking by what it actually did in the area of Barbados, as well as St. Lucia, St. Vincent, which has been really suffering from these massive volcanic eruptions. They still have several thousand people that are in shelters at this time, based on the recent release of information from the government officials in St. Vincent. So do keep in mind that not only did people have to seek shelter from the volcano, and they're still in shelters as a result of all of the ash and all of the significant events that took place with the eruption of the volcano La Soufriere in St. Vincent, but also the impact of what was then Tropical Storm Elsa was very, very damaging to the island. So we definitely want to make sure that you have all the information you need going forward about the storm, and also keep in mind that it's going to conditions will start to change very, very quickly possibly around midday, things will start to change very drastically for along the coast of Hispaniola, and then we anticipate in the later evening, the things will start to really change as far as atmosphere for residents of Haiti, especially on the southwest coast of Haiti, as well as the southeast coast of Jamaica. So we're going to be watching this storm very closely. Well, thank you for tuning in to our latest bout to the weather report covering Hurricane Elsa as it makes its way through the Caribbean Sea. And we'll continue to break down this storm, take a look at it from the satellite, as well as also the information coming in from the National Hurricane Center. We're most importantly looking at sea heights as well as peak sea information, and also its position, so that we can get an idea of possibly where the most heaviest rainfall will be felt, and more severe storm surge situations. So do stay tuned, hit that notification bell for our next update, and good morning to everyone, and do take care, and thank you for watching Bow News Network. Have a good night.